Hi everyone, welcome. This is Module 4, Follow-Up and Section 1, Conversion Rates. Hope everyone's doing great. It's good to see everybody again. And let's go on to the next slide. Who am I? I am Sarah Santa Ana, Move for Free Realty, broker owner. And there's my contact information on the screen, so feel free to give me a call at any time if you have any questions and if you want to set up a plan of action. Okay, now what we're going to talk about today is very, very important follow-up. Number one, why? Why do we need to follow up? We're going to talk about that as well as a checklist of what you need to be doing. And we actually have that checklist on the form as well, so that will really help you out. And of course, we want to talk a little bit about the do not call laws, just to give you a brief overview. Okay, so number one, why? Why do you need to follow up? The most important thing to know is that people aren't going to call you. You must call them. If you have a problem calling people, then maybe real estate isn't right for you because again, people don't call us. We have to keep calling them over and over and over again. We have to have contact campaigns built in place to help us in our follow-up programs. So part of your business is putting together a follow-up plan. Now, I've helped you out with some of that, and you'll see in our forum section and on our buyer questionnaire. It's going to be backwards when you look at it, but our buyer questionnaire section, and then there's the new customer checklist. Now, who's a customer? A customer is anyone and everyone you come in contact with. It does not mean that they're a buyer or seller, landlord, tenant. It means everyone you come across, and that's really key to remember because everybody you know has a potential to refer you. Everybody, even that person that's honking behind you at the stoplight or whatever, the stop sign. So don't forget, everybody has the potential to refer you. You want to make a good impression everywhere you go with everybody. Part of our nature, of our business is dealing with people, and unfortunately, that's not always a pleasant experience. But we must always put the smiley face on and do our best to keep our temper cool. And there's going to be people who mistreat us, and we just have to learn how to handle those types of situations. And sometimes it's at the end, it's best to just refer it out to someone else in the office who could take care of that person. And of course, you get paid a referral fee, which is really important. So if it ends up that way, so be it. Other than that, you're going to need to learn how to work with all different types of people, and how to be a leader, and most importantly, how to handle the different behaviors of people. One of the most important things for you to remember too is that this is a real estate transaction. It's very stressful for them. So people typically are not behaving the way they usually would because they're under a high level of stress. I mean, we are hardwired individuals. Security is the first thing on our mind. It's hardwired in. We want to make sure we're secure. We have a place to sleep. And so when you're dealing with their home and they're afraid, you can get high tension, and then of course bad behaviors come out sometimes. And we need to learn to be sympathetic, empathetic, and learn how to understand why they're behaving the way they are, and then help them get through it. And then sometimes you just have people who are just nasty people overall. Again, you want to explain to them why it's in their benefit to work with the other side and to create a win-win scenario, because it's going to be in their best interest. So, that's part of our training. We got to learn how to work with people. And so with that in mind, again, you have to make sure that you're following up on a regular basis, and the systems in place will help you. So again, a customer is anybody and everybody you come across. You must follow up regularly on a consistent basis in order to make sure that the customers turn into clients, and that is what we get into the conversion rates. So the higher amount of people that you convert from customers to clients is your conversion rate overall, and you want to make sure that your conversion rate is extremely high. Or we need to go back and visit why your conversion rates are low. Could it be your follow-up? Could it be how you deal with the people? So it could be, a number of things. Maybe it's your personality. Maybe it's the fact that you're working too slow, and they're looking for, most people are, anxious and they're excited, so they want a quick worker, and they want to feel like you're on top of it, and they want to feel like you care. So those could be some of the things, and we're going to talk about that in our next section. But let me go through what you should be doing with each and every person that you know. And this checklist is found on our forum, so feel free to, and as well as at the office, we've got them on the back of all the buyer and seller sheets, okay? But just remember, this should be part of your business Facebook or your database as a checklist of what you should do with each and every person you know. Okay, so number one, you want to always ask, do they know any other realtors? Or if they were planning to buy or sell a house, would they use you? Brian Buffini calls that the mayor campaign. You can call it whatever you want, but if they tell you that their mother, brother, uncle, sister, aunt is working with a real estate agent, or is a real estate agent, then they're not a good person to add to your database, because they're never going to refer you, nor are they going to work with you. So again, ask the question, hey, do you know any other real estate? I always just casually ask people, oh, do you know any other real estate agents? And then they always say, oh, yes, I know this person. Or they'll say, and then I'll even ask them, well, if you were to buy or sell, is that the person that you would use? And they will either tell me yes or no, I would never use this person. I actually had a person I know that told me that her neighbor was a real estate agent. So honestly, in my mind, I was thinking, oh, this is never going to work. And then I said to her, well, would that be the person that you would use to sell, your house or help you buy? And she said, oh no, that girl is a mess. I would never, she's so unorganized. So there you go. It pays to ask, because then at that point I knew. I didn't assume. I asked the question, and now I know. All right, so would we be the realtor that they would use, or who would be the realtor, however you want to word it. Number two, add it to your database. Their information must be added to your database, whether it be the business Facebook, whether it be an online system like Top Producer, Brian Buffini's CRM system, Act Database, Wise Agent, Property Minder, whatever you want to use. Realty Sync is good as well. Any of those will work for you, but you must add them there, because if you don't, you're not going to remember. Okay, I promise you cannot keep up with all of the people, and you need your sphere to be very large in order to generate business that costs you $0. Okay, so just remember that. Number two, if you're using the business Facebook, you will want to add it to an Excel spreadsheet so that you can export those addresses on a monthly basis to send out your just listed postcards and your just sold postcards and your newsletters and all of the other things that we're going to talk about next in our next section, as far as things that you should be sending out for follow-up programs. What about your auto email campaigns? Hopefully you should have the Happy Watermelon Day, Happy Valentine's Day, Happy Spring. These regular contacts of just being nice, the Happy Birthday plan, a property minder, once again, Realty Sync, Wise Agent, a majority of them will do auto campaigns where you set it up once, you launch the campaign, and then you forget about it. And it's great because it will go out to them automatically and you never have to think about it, but yet they're getting regular contact from you. And that is so important because, again, you don't want them to ever forget who you are. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to clients who said, oh yeah, I bought this house through another realtor. And I'm like, oh really? Who was that realtor? I have no idea. Do you want to be that agent? Because that is business that you're paying to generate twice. See, it's important to pay to have the business generated once for life, because that person will continue to come back to you as long as you put the time and energy into your follow-up plan and have it systematically working for you. Okay, so you want to have those auto email campaigns, and don't worry, if you need auto email campaigns, I've got a bunch of them ready to go, so I can actually just forward them over your way. You should also set them up for neighborhood alerts. This is what I always tell people. I've got a free program, Neighborhood Alerts. A lot of times I don't even tell them. I just sign them up for it and say FYI in your neighborhood. So you want to set them up for campaigns of homes that are for sale in their neighborhood, or homes that go under contract in their neighborhood, because what ends up happening is that they're getting updated of homes that go in, so they can keep up with their equity, or if they're renting, they can keep up with the rental rates in that area. So that's really, really, really important. So make sure that you do that, the Neighborhood Alerts program. And if you need help with that, just let me know. You could set it up through Matrix, or you could set it up through your website company. Facebook, absolutely add them to Facebook. I can't tell you how much business I've got from Facebook, and it's a good advertising vehicle as well as good for follow-up. I mean, you'll find out a lot. It's just, the person posts on there, they're having a bad day, and you want to just say, oh, I'm so sorry, whatever you want to say to them, but you want to keep up with them on a regular basis. So again, that you stay in contact with them. So it's really important. And then, of course, they will refer you. You must ask for the referrals, but they will refer you. So add them to Facebook, add them to LinkedIn. Absolutely. You want to get them up on LinkedIn. And again, it's just another way to keep in contact with them. And it shows that you're a professional. So again, this to me tells me, okay, this person's on LinkedIn and I see them posting regularly about listings and I feel like they're a professional and they're somebody that I can turn to. If I see somebody on Facebook or LinkedIn that, let's just say it's a landscaper, for instance, or a contractor, and they're never posting about things that they're doing, to me, I think that they're out of the business. I don't even think about that. I don't relate that person to that business. And so you want to make sure that they know you're a professional and that you're still in real estate. If they ask you, are you still doing real estate? Right there is your indication that you're doing something wrong. Okay. Just know that. Okay. So next, add their birthday to your calendar. I like to use the automatic calendars. A lot of times it'll show up on Facebook if you're checking on a daily basis, but just make sure that you know when their birthday is so that you can send them a card or just an email or something, a text message of happy birthday. It shows them that you care and that you really want to be part of their lives. And I tell all my clients, hey, you're family now. You're not getting rid of me. And I really feel that way. So, and hopefully you will too. Okay, send something of value on a regular basis. Okay, so what we send of value is like, in the springtime, we'll send out the little seed packets. Halloween time, we'll give the little pumpkins. You guys will laugh all you want, but I love to go to Giovanni especially loves to go to the clearance section at like every store possible. And he finds like random little things like pretty candles or just crystal stuff, whatever, anything he finds, he buys. If it's like on clearance and it looks pretty, and we keep it in a box that in our basement that's labeled and in a closet that's pretty much the whole closet's follow-up stuff and items of value. And when we stop by to do a pop by, which should be on your plan of follow-ups, we always bring something from the box. Or they will, like if I see them somewhere, or if I know that or if I'm about to go show them houses or something, it's fun to bring them something. I used to get this guy that would come to my house and he would sell, he hasn't been here in a long time, but he would sell this booklet of like free pizza, and then like, discounts on pizza. Like you could get it. I would always get the Papa John's and the Pizza Hut ones. And I think I had Domino's once. I always bought them because then every time I saw my clients, I would give them a free pizza coupon. And people, I'm telling you guys, people call me just for the free pizza. But it cost me like $30 for the whole book. And it was a great deal. So I loved it when the guy came and knocked on my door. Other than that, I'd do the entertainment book. The entertainment, I love to give out those coupons. People love it. And I mean, it cost me very little and it just shows that I care and I'm thinking about them. So it's, and people like free stuff. So give it to them and it doesn't cost you hardly anything. All right, then you want to call after if you've sent something to them, like your newsletters. If you're doing your newsletters, you always want to follow up and say, hey, did you get the newsletter? What did you think about it? Oh, wasn't that a funny article? How are you? I always use the Ford plan, family, occupation, recreations, and dreams. If you always remember the Ford plan, you'll know what to talk about. It's just good to follow up and talk to people. And don't forget to ask for the referral. Very important. Again, I've said the newsletter so many times. Put them on your newsletter plan. Make sure those newsletters are going out. They're very, very important. Don't email them. Send them in the mail. I promise it works. Don't forget the birthday card. I said that. And then, of course, it should be part of your business-based book or your database where you're calling on a regular basis. Okay? One more thing. Again, do not forget to ask for referrals. Now, I have this checklist in place already. So with each person that you meet, you should be going through the checklist and making sure that you've done all of these things, okay? And this will greatly increase your conversion rate, okay? When you get a new client, keep calling them. Don't stop until they tell you to stop. A lot of times people will stop returning your calls, and don't take that personally. Something's going on in their life. Do you know how many times this has happened to me where I'll call and call and call and call, and then they won't return my call, and I'll think, oh, whatever, they're using someone else. Then randomly out of the blue, they'll call me, or they'll return one of my auto emails that I send out to them. They'll reply and say, oh yeah, I've been busy, or we had a job change, or somebody was in the hospital, or we had to go to Florida, whatever. They always have stuff going on in their lives. So don't think for 1 minute that your efforts aren't paying off. You want to keep calling, and then when you reach them on the phone, sometimes they just tell you, look, we ran out of time, and we ended up renewing our lease. So be it. That's no problem. Listen, I'm going to give you a call back in December when your lease is a couple months from being up, so we can start looking then. Does that sound like a good idea? Because this time we're going to get on the ball and really help you achieve this goal. And then they're going to be like, oh, thank you so much. And then you've got to put it on your follow-up plan to continuously make contact with them, make sure that they're getting the proper credit information, advice, putting them in contact with the people that they need to, be put in contact to prepare for this new home purchase. And of course, sending out the emails that you need to be sending out, and the newsletter plan. And then, of course, remembering that date to call them back. If you don't have a reminder system, you're going to have problems because you cannot keep up with all of these people. So make sure that you have a very good reminder system. Right on my iMac, there's a little reminder system that pops up on the screen. You've got RealtySync will also give you a reminder system. And so you can program dates in there. Top Producer does the same thing. I'm not so sure about Property Minder, honestly. I'll have to check into that. And of course, there's the email. You can get a calendar with your GoDaddy account, and that calendar will email you, and I believe it'll text message you. I also love to use Cozy. It's a free program for Android users. I'm not sure if they have them for Apple, but Cozy, C-O-Z-I. It texts me all the time and tells me things that are on the calendar, which I really love. So I'll be out and then it'll text me, and that's really, 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 really effective for me, so I can remember what I'm supposed to be doing. Anyway, follow-up is a key to your conversion rates. It is important for your business to become successful, for you to have a very good follow-up plan in place. And again, it's going to increase your conversion rates overall. Last thing I want to talk about real quick is just the do not call laws. Remember, if you're making any cold calls, you need to make sure that the people are not on the do not call registry. Now, if they've initiated a conversation with you, then at that point it's okay. Now, if they at any time tell you that they don't want anyone from our company to call them, you need to let me know right away so we can put them on the forum in the entity-specific opt-out. Okay, so you can put people's names and phone numbers on there if they tell you. I've never had anyone say, I did have there. You'll see there's one person on there that said, stop sending me mail because you're killing trees. So I put them on there. It's not that they didn't want to talk to us. It's just that they were like, I don't want to waste any more, mail. So I said, okay, no problem. So if they want to not be called by anybody in our company, we need to make sure that we're put on there as well. So again, follow the laws, because remember, it could cost you big time if you don't. Okay. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and hopefully your business is successful, and remember, you know where to find me. Okay.